This is the story of the notorious Savo lions, a pair of male lions who terrorized the Savo region in British East Africa in the late 19th century. The British decided to build a railway connecting the port town of Mombasa to the interiors of the country. The proposed railway was known as the Uganda Railway and it passed through the Savo region in present day Kenya. This is an advertisement put out by the Uganda Railway attracting potential rich Englishmen. The task to oversee the construction was given to Colonel John Henry Patterson. But the project was riddled with problems, and the first problem was that the natives were not willing to work in the construction, and this was bypassed by bringing in tens and thousands of laborers from India, as we see here. And they came from over the seas, and the work began, and yet the construction was not as smooth and the trains could not run just like this as we see here, because something really bad happened. That is, a pair of lions, male lions, who did not have manes. If you look at the lion, they did not have manes. Usually male lions have manes, but these two lions did not have manes. Actually, the lions in the Savo region have very little mane. It is said that it is to help them from the environment, because there it is more of a thorny forest kind of an environment. So it'll protect them if they don't have the full mane. So the male lions in Savo region don't really have much of a mane, and these two really had it sparsely, very sparsely, if any at all. Another theory is said that these lions have much more testosterone than the other lions, and that is the reason for the sparse mane. Maybe that is also the reason for their aggressive behavior. Anyway, these lions, they started to attack and devour the hapless workers as well as the natives. And the problem for the workers were there was that they were from India and they did not know how to deal with these beasts in Africa. So they had a double problem to deal with. So they built around their camps thorn walls to protect from these lions. But these guys were so cunning. They maneuvered their way, they jumped over the fences, and they started going into the camps, into the tents, and dragging out people every day and ripping them apart. The problem was so big that the project had to be halted for some time, and Colonel Patterson took the things into his own hands and started on his way to hunt down these two brutes. So what happened is that many traps were kept, but the lions just escaped from all of it. But eventually he shot the first lion, and this lion is also called as the ghost. And here we can see the lion. It was shot dead, and Patterson is sitting by his side. And this lion, it was 9 feet 8 inches long and 3 feet 9 inches tall. And 20 days later, he got hold of the second lion, and it was called as the Darkness. The first was the Ghost, and this was called the Darkness, and it was 9 feet 6 inches long and 3 feet 11 inches tall. And these two lions, between March and December of 1898, that is not even a whole year, Patterson is telling that they have killed about 135 people. But that number is contested. Some say it is only around 35, but we cannot be sure of that. Anyway, Patterson in his book says that around 135 people were killed by these two lions. And this is the book that Patterson wrote about the whole incident. This was written in 1907. And these lions, their skin, Patterson kept as his floor rag for 25 years. It was in his house, and he kept it as his floor rag. And after that period, he sold it to the Field Museum of National History in Chicago for $5,000. Now, what they did was they stuffed these skins with and they made lifelike forms of these lions, and we can see them now if we go to the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago. These are the very two same lions, their skins stuffed and kept in the museum. Now the thing is, we have to say something about the Indian workers, the fate of the Indian workers. About 32,000 Indians were taken by the British. Maybe you cannot say it was not enslavement as such, but it was like indentured labor, and they were brought there. And the sad thing is, at least 2,500 people perished there due to many reasons, not just the Savo Lions. Due to many reasons, 2,500 people lost their lives and could not make it back. And but another good thing is that many people made their life there and became very much prosperous in the later years. So this is the story of the Savo lions, the notorious pair of male lions who did not have much of a mane. If you look, you can see that these both the lions doesn't have much of a mane, but yet they are male. We are told that male lions usually have a good mane, but these two lions did not have manes. In fact, the lions in the Savo region are known to not have much of a mane, as I already mentioned. In contrast, Barbary lions in Morocco and all, it is those are the lions that has the greatest mane, but sadly, people have hunted it down and now they are extinct. Anyway, that is all about Savo lions, the notorious Savo lions.